make the presentation on the street side.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it.
I have going for them. We're so proud of these guys. We're happy they're back, and I have more in common than these other people because I have all my hair. My dad still tells me I have too much hair. We'd like to give a sign to each one of these guys. Oh, we got fire. Well, you have to move in there. Stuck together. Who wants the broken one? Just one day you don't morning, every time you go through town, oh, these guys.
We love you all. Thank you so very, very much for coming out like this. It's just fantastic. Give me a direction to get to my living room. Well, now we know until we come home. So, thank you so much. One more thing. Jim Daniels is my oldest and dearest friend. He knows more about me than any living person in the world, you know. And I just want you to say thank you to Jim Daniels for me, would you?
Part of the way we're going to do this is that people are just putting take turns by groups. In other words, if somebody has 3 or 4 questions, one at channel 6 asks 3 or 4 questions, and so on down the line. So if you came to it and you were aware of that information, kind of let me know, and then we'll kind of feel it. We don't want to leave somebody out of it in here. So I think rather than trying to get it all mixed up, it's better to let you have an entertaining time. Is that how maybe a little charge is part of maybe a little bit a little bit I got my yeah, blue down. Oh, you blew it down to get rid of the perk? Yeah, a little bit perk. I was so overwhelmed with Theodore Roosevelt, the Everly Brothers down at the Monroe. That another gift you're going to take home to Shenandoah is, I know a place that was dear in your heart as boys was the Henry Field Tea Nursery Company down there in Jason and Hallie Johnson, that clothing store where you guys used to go in and moon over clothes just like that. Hallie's a great old guy, and he's gone now. And he's dead now, but his son Howard runs the clothing store, and Howard came up from Hallie's estate. Howard came up, his son Howard came up with 2 solid silver coins from the Shenandoah Centennial in 1971. And they've been in Hallie's estate, and Howard said he couldn't think of anything better than you guys did. So there you go.
Right. His father was a grand man. We sat down many times and talked. He did more than stuff. Was a good advice.
Yeah, that's right.
He did. Thank you very much. Look at my lucky piece, boy.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much.
If you want to walk back and walk back out, if you want.
Yeah, we can put up ahead.
Okay, we're all set to welcome to
Remember them. It's surprising that things may have changed just a little bit, but everybody gets down to talk and we all recall it.
What sort of memories do you have of being children?
Well, this is the library that I learned was really very thorough. Now this library, having the books, I remember well. I saw people a long time ago. And I learned how to look at the National Geographic for sex education. But it's where Phil and I grew up there. We in children, we never really had a home. in Shenandoah, which is the longest stretch of time we ever spent in any one spot in the world, and anywhere ever, was Shenandoah. And there's KMA, KFNF, and Fremont is part of the country. Kev has the family, but the primary education we got was here in Iowa. And I'm really happy with that. I read, write, and arithmetic. It was good. Yeah. And I learned to type. I didn't take how much everything. This is where my education came from. I think a good, solid Midwest education was wonderful. And I've never had this in the library, because reading is very important to me. I didn't need to go to college, and books, wonderful thing.
What's the name of that book?
Wendy book. I was very young. I was almost 18.
If you recall what it was like, we got to wait for the I'm sorry. Hard that thing. You know where it's going?
It was actually a historical thing about how porpoises was maybe interested forever in animals.
Do you remember what it felt like as a kid to have your own radio show?
It seems so natural because Dad did it all the time. We spent a lot of time with our father because he's working radio and he was home a lot, between his radio shows. And at Christmas we'd go down and Christmas songs and holidays. It just seemed part of our life. And then they said they were going to do a little show on it. I just thought of it. I became unnatural at all.
What do you know about homecoming? You had them always crowd around town and show where it was invertible.
No. We probably were out everywhere.
But what you did, go down Sheridan Avenue today, that's where. Tell me what came back to you when you saw those storefronts.
This is so overwhelming that it's almost an impossible thing to put into words. It's more a feeling than you could express, and it's seeing the bakery when we used to get sweet rolls right after the radio show. I saw we used to bang on the back door, and they were listening to the show, and we were like 5 minutes right off the air, and they put I think while we were there, hot from the front. So I've never had a sweet roll, and I love sweet rolls, but I've never had a sweet roll, and I've looked for them all over the world, things like that, that so meaningful to us, but I don't know if it really means much to other people, but it's real love. The thing I noticed is the acceptance from the people that, this is our hometown, it's their hometown, we have this in common. That's a magic thing, we grew up Shenandoah, you meet somebody around the world, Bill and I traveled the world over, and occasionally we'll meet somebody that, are you from Shenandoah? And you remember Shenandoah? Yeah, and you remember Sentinel, or you remember the hanging again there? And and that's that common bond. And here we came home, there they all are. We did a Sentinel, we did all that. We did the whole thing, it's just fantastic.
When you say that you have things in common, Shenandoah has had some hard times. Iowa has had.
Yeah.
What did you to be a part of the town when this come back?
We'd love to. That's what we'd love to do, actually. I know that there's been a terrible pressure on the farming economy. It's been bad, really has been. We don't know that much about it, but we're here. But you cannot, America cannot afford to lose the people of the Midwest. Very best of the world. Yes, and not only their ability to grow things, but their ability to grow people. And that's what we don't want to lose. And we'd love to be applying anything that could help anyway. Small, our little piece of it would be very small, but anything that would help that is really important because the country needs us.
I've heard it said so many times in the last couple of days, the Everly family never gave up. They never said no. You're not people who say no. People seem to identify your success in coming back from adversity with your talent.
Well, it can happen. It happened for Don and I. The music business that we chose is our life profession. It's not an easy one. It's not. You can't subsidize music. You can't do this. You can't do that. And you just take it as it comes. And the world's economy is that way. And it's very difficult to keep abreast of things and make it work. The same thing over and over and over again. But I certainly think that we should keep the breadbasket of the American world. It's American. It's not that it's intact. Not single family farms, not corporation farms, but family farms. They agree with that. Yeah. Because that's a family stability that is the most important product of the United States, I think. And we know from the carving goes through all our formative, all the years we're here, and that's what we're on. We want you to stay to it. And not just anything that anybody could do to help that would be most appreciated by us and everybody here on the show.
Good point. What were the kids? Can you imagine what the kids or the kids were thought if they could ever imagine that this was going to happen?
Before the parade, Don and I were waiting to go, and a sweet lady brought us out some iced tea while we were waiting, you know, like to start, and it's just sort of we're in the alley like we always were. and we could, you know, it's only here that kind of thing, and we were saying if we didn't know, we wouldn't have believed that this would have potentially been possible in our lives, and somebody had said this is going to happen to you. We were raised in show business. Our father was always, show business was a big time show business. And to us, just earning a living at the music that my father did, what we did was enough. And it was meager sometimes, but it was still the way we were living. We knew nothing else. And we would think about the record business, high in the stars. And it does come true. It really does. It did. It came here for us. It's never too late to dream when you are Shenandoah's dreams, you know, and it can happen, and it will happen. I remember walking around the town thinking, yeah, I'll drive back here and come back. And then over there, there's a parade. See, I said, I thought I'd drive like that. I didn't think I'd get in there, keep the parade. But the governor, you know, that's the icing, I think, that Phil and I are really appreciative of.
Well, this doesn't find its way into your music?
Oh, yeah. We're hoping that it finds its way into the next video. So, yeah, we've had people here. We want to document this the best we can to show that the Heartland of America is alive and well. And that's what rock and roll was born in the Heartland of America. People don't realize that Cleveland, Ohio, Iowa, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee. This is where rock and roll came from. The blues and the northern blues, the white blues, the black blues, country music, pop music. All in the middle of America, right on the coast, you know. It's from the Heartland of America. You know, there's another thing too, for just inspiration. Tremendous amount of New York City is run by people from the Midwest. And like major cable companies, the heads of them are from like North Dakota, South Dakota. And the same thing in California. I live out in California, as silly as it sounds. Most people, a lot of noise that really do the work, really do the creation, are from this Heartland. You gotta remember Johnny Carson's from the Midwest. David Letterman's from the Midwest. This is where the education comes. You go to the coast to make it, but this is where the art, where your work is.
I'm just going to close with one. I heard one nice thing said about you guys. I'll close. I won't ask you any foreign policy question. A woman who remembers it said that even if they hadn't become famous, they would have left a credit on the council. How does that make
Well, that makes me go, yeah. Where's our pushy live? I'm going to here. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Peter? Peter, please. We can see this Peter's up there.
Yes. Hi, Peter.
It's such a... Can we go back to the video that you're shooting while you're here? I know you have it too. Is it something that we'll see on MTV, or is it something...
Well, we're hoping it's together potentially, so... Next year is the 30th anniversary of our first record, hit record, Five by Love. We want to do a birthday party for that record. We're thinking of calling it Happy Birthday, Five by Love. And we want to document what it's been like since the reunion. And what it's like, we think rock and roll is a respectable music. You know, at the beginning, people didn't really think it was. And it's quite respectable, really. It's basically, our music's always been about love and relationships, life, just living. And we want to celebrate it. And we've done a television show, either way to celebrate it. And also have a good time. Invite a lot of people. Have a really nice party.
Sometimes in your concert itself will be taped.
I don't know. That I didn't know.
I understood that was
No, I don't think so. They are. Normally we don't tape our concert because we do one reunion concert. We did that, and then we don't really do. We like the people that come to see us see that one performance and that. There's no Midwestern trait to do it right or don't do it. I don't know if that's so. We don't really. We're doing this for documenting ourselves. It may not wind up on television, but we'll have it at home. We'll have it at home. Really for us.
When in the bakery that made the pecan rolls for you, as I understand what they really were.
Cinnamon rolls, yeah.
They had made for you, they especially for you.
Did it really?
Honest, we had.
I knew
we
I'd
had
find
your-
to find a spot where I get those rolls. That's wonderful.
When you're in town like this, and you're being paraded around and going to back to back, will you actually have a chance to go back to some of the places that were important to you?
Well, you know, just up the street is this park that we used to hang around in, just a couple of blocks up the street. The house that we lived in is just down the street. And I want to go. We've already been by the radio station today. I mean, down in compact. Yeah. And I walk everything. I could just sort of sense where everything is. In fact, when we were coming from the depot, you know, and we really wanted to drive us and we wanted to walk, yeah, we had a chance to tell you those same railings that you used to walk by as a kid. We walking. We lived here for this is a very formative period. By the time I was 7, feels five. Until I left when I was sophomore in high school.
You go back to the house and go into it?
Oh, no, I don't go in. Well, we wouldn't go any farther until I heard people like, we're going to drive by and look at it.
But is it the same size as you would call it when
We
you
got one, they had one room, so now it's 2 rooms.
not smaller than you remember?
No, that's according to Jim. Jim, we don't talk about it again.
Don, you've been back to Shenandoah.
No, it was me. Yeah, I drove through about 8 years ago. I just happened to driving someplace and I took a detour and to the Shenandoah. To drove through, I didn't see anybody. I just drove down Main Street, drove by a couple of houses being again. That's it.
Well, see, and you have actually returned.
A long time ago, though, I came out to see Jim Yanis. He was my oldest and his friend, and came and was right about the time we cut by violence, a little bit after that. And
That's all been forever.
yeah, that's a long time ago.
What kind of kid were you when you were here? Were you Taylor? Did you belong to your rank here?
No, I don't want to tell you. We did climb around the post office, you know, on that little rail around there. I don't know if you get stuff in this town, but the spot means we got. Well, Phil and I, our mother, pretty much of a lovers or radio. If we did something, lecture one for the whole nation and everybody else. We were pretty indoctrinated to mind your own business and to don't mess with people's property. And we never vandalized none of it. I mean, we don't do like that play at all. It was the Midwest Endings at all. This place you still need the doors unlocked at night. I must confess up though. I mean, Jim Daniels and Larry Newall and I did throw some rocks at one of the lights one time. But I convinced that so we got that. See that? They know about it. That's your limitation. I don't live that back.
Also, at the end of that period, when you hear saying they were still strong, Shenandoah was still a big band center for them. And
Yes, it was.
there must have been other musician kids to the same boat as you at that time. Was there a competition among you, or was it just?
Well, there weren't any of the children. Donnie Comer, Eddie Comer's son, you know, played, but he was younger than us and all that. But there wasn't the same sort of situation that we would have. You know, the one thing we stopped once driving a car and filled in. I told you.
Are there any old planes around from that era?
I saw a couple today.
Did it all come back?
Yes, it did.
Maybe I should ask you more questions.
No, they weren't back.
Okay, we'll pass it.
Okay, good. Thank you. We'll do next. My name's Steve Wine with KP. Hi. Let's make sure this
This seemed to be such a big kick for you guys today. I guess the question is, why didn't you come back sooner?
Well, I don't know. Those things just take time. It's like they have a life of their own. They have a life force of their own. Every time is right, it seems. It's like when they teach you the students ready to keep your beards. You don't have it. I'm kind of glad it was this year, though. And Bill Dillon has invited us before, but now that they've got a front room hall of fame, and there's a different kind of mentality towards the music we've been there. You know, just some of the more, I think, better. Some vistas like the cherry on top.
Was there a desire to come back and forth? Something you thought about? You guys talked about doing?
Well, as you travel, we meet people from Iowa, We worked at Iowa State Fair. That was almost like coming home. That was about 4 years ago. That was one felt wonderful. And that made us think, well, we should go back to Shenandoah somehow. But that's what we put together. The community has to get involved and play for this kind of thing. So it's best education. You know, which we hope it is. It is for us. It's for us. This is our family. It felt like been on the road so long, and we don't really have a place we could say that we spent all our life. And this is it. We were talking to. Please. Yeah, no, I was talking to the. We were some old friends down at the depot, and we were talking to all our relatives in Kentucky, and we can go home and have that kind of. Like a family kind of homecoming. But this is like a town homecoming to us. Like we never lived there. No, we never lived there. This is this is hometown style.
Who was the lady who stopped and led during the parade, toward the end of the parade? Mostly she was
9 years old. She was a school teacher, 3rd grade.
And she tried to teach me spells, but also to pronounce words, which I thought her name is Miss Root. Miss Janice Root.
And she was so coherent. Oh, beautiful. It was wonderful. That was wonderful. That was wonderful.
Stop it, Sarah.
Yeah, sure is.
Tell us a little bit about your tour, if you would, as far as how many cities and how long the tour will last.
Jimmy? Yeah. How many days? We don't take this that much anymore. We just going. It's actually, I only looked at this tour up to this point. Yeah, what do we do? This was.
Too many.
Too many?
Too many.
Well, we played some nice places though. We're playing the Calgary Stampede. We're playing the Expo in Vancouver. We're playing Las Vegas. We just played Trump's in Atlantic City. Things like that. It's go back.
What did you go on the road when you started this tour?
About the middle of last 3 weeks.
June 20th.
2-3 weeks.
And how long will it run?
We got a couple of weeks, then we take a couple of weeks off. When we don't work real hard anymore. We keep it to where it's pleasantly comfortable.
What is the status of your next album? Are you starting to work on that?
No, the record company has approached us about starting it, but we have to sort of fit it into our time schedule.
You think that this was an earmark to be a part of that record?
Well, this is going to be a part of our life from now on. Yeah, and, it affects what we write. Everything we write from our experiences, so it show up somewhere along the way. They won't always show up like, with the word Shenandoah in it. But I've never written a song about love that hasn't correlated to something that happened in a year. Using metaphors and things. It's your experience. And an exhilarating experience like this. It's wonderful kind of adrenaline for creativity, I think. Thank you.
Anyone else? So when you were doing the Shenandoah radio station for the Fremont show, you not only did entertainment off with your ads, you remember any
Decon big thing.
What?
Decon Rat Boys. Blew up like oh goodness. All time.
Do you remember any specific song that you did for some?
No, we didn't do so much singing commercials. We did mostly, in Riga they call it that, little IDs. I do tell you, a 200-pound man could have settled a telephony.
Yeah, well, I understand that you are establishing a scholarship. Is that right?
Yeah, you know more about that. These are the details on that. Yeah, but we're here. We kind of put it into Jim's hands, and we just wanted to, do whatever we can do to help anybody that can use it. We figured that education, yes. Mom and Dad, we were going to finish high school. We both finished high school, even though we had a career. And I wanted to go to college. I mean, that was part of the thing I wanted. And I think that education and college and all that's wonderful. Some people can't afford to do it. And so we thought just with the planning, county sees and all this, we could establish something that we can put back in the community. And this is based on need, and need alone.
Right, Jim?
For education, and we're doing it.
But there's some money in the fund this year, and since it's just starting, it won't have the opportunity to accumulate a full year's interest. So it'll be reduced this first year, then after that, then it will be whatever group Dyer can get on interest rates for us. But it represents a sizable contribution by my friends to this town, and
Well, we can never,
must
we can't, it's really pretty much down. So the town is giving us, we're giving back. That's basically what it is. That's about.
Well, it's put out a lot of people for a long time.
One more here. See, it's Saturday night, now sports soccer's got early deadline. You give us any kind of preview of what we're going to see tonight?
Well, we're going to do old songs, new songs, fast ones, slow ones, loud ones, soft ones,
And not one dirty.
happy ones, not one dirty. Then we wake up little Susie, we can add it by.
Yeah. You both mentioned a couple times that you like to users become more respectable. What is it? It's just the time passes?
Well, I think time passes. It's also the image things, the beards and hair, when they started to be under ducktails and women wear pink pants or something. That doesn't look like the normal. Hey, you gotta remember this, rock and roll is a look, a life, freedom of expression, a self-respect. And look, let's face it, look, Shenandoah and the period of time we lived here was really a very close Eisenhower years. And you wouldn't see girls in shorts like that. You would see hair, you wouldn't see any of that. That was not the way life was. And now we have the self-expression, and rock and roll was a threat to, I think, to establishment at that point. And it got diversification, but I believe in self-expression, and I don't believe in censorship. I think as Americans are bright enough to find what they like and what they don't like. The music is very, it's no good. It's a difference, I see. Yeah.
Do you run into a lot of people that you remember?
Yeah.
I do, yeah. And since some people we met in grade, and you did a quick name thing, and by the time that you pulled away, all of it comes back to you. I guess it's a little later. This route was
Did you expect this kind of reaction?
we hoped for this kind of reaction. And it's just been, it's as good as I could have dreamed.
I just sort of just wait to be expectantly. That's all. Just sort of what it would be like.
We just hope we don't want anybody down at the shelter. That's all we're going to live right now. Because the pride of the people that give it to us.
I'll tell you what, one thing we do have the best rock and roll band that there is. It's Human. We got the best of there. We have the best guitar player. Yeah, I believe anybody that knows Albert's with us. Albert and Larry London considered one of the top drummers in the world.
Yeah.
And Pete Wakefield and Single. They're all we have the best we could get.
Yeah, and they come on the road with us, a lot of the producers and things, and they have own albums and things. But they're like another family. They're not with us, and they all were down the street taking pictures too, which we're all we got a big deal out there. Pete Wakefield walked along the whole thing.
Yeah, great.
But I was part of it.
Yeah.
What do they think of Shenandoah?
Oh, they're having a wonderful time. I have our band's England. Bill and I spent a lot of time over there. And this basically, England taught us how to rock and roll again in the 60s. If you all remember the English invasion. And we're so proud to have that kind of a quality musician. And they love the Heartland. They see it with a kind of jaded perspective that we look at it. It's new to them. It's like when we go to England, we go to their hometown. It's new to us. They appreciate this place a lot. They're having a wonderful time.
Yeah. They have a chance to see the real Americans.
And that's it.
What are you going to do at Miami Vice?
Never.
You know, John Johnson is from Missouri. Yeah, he's not very far from here.
He comes from too. There you go. We've been dressing like this for a long time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mary Evans from the Sentinel here.
Hi.
We're having such a good time with Bev. We want to know, do you think he'll come back again to Shenandoah?
Oh, of course. We'll come back. We'll have some reason to come back. We'll look for excuses. Yeah, we will.
Good.
Good. He'll be back.
Yeah, but this is the memory that's going to last.
You still have the heart all the way here, don't you?
I'm on.
We'll try to make one of those one day.
Yeah, I want a couple of free pancakes.
Yeah.
But I understand you have 2 English bank clubs. When are you going to have a history U.S. bank club?
Well, most of our bank clubs have been handled out of Europe for almost 25 years.
Yeah.
Holland was the official capital for a lot of. There's one in England. I don't know why that happened. It just, they seem to write a lot more than people. I don't know. I'd rather answer that. But it's the International Fan Club, it's headquarters. We really have we call it International Appreciation Club, actually. We group of what's the feeling
First inductee said some other all the thing. This is the Chris Craig.
Well, it's just the fact that when we started and making this records and not people would ask you in an interview like this, what are you going to do when it's over? And it went all the way to the wall of Astoria, and now they're going to do a New Zealand reprint. And just to see it survive all those secrets really, you're exactly, I think it could be a change.
everybody honest people and their ideas. Like the young person's ideas first in the world, a little bit more so. Just music in a way. It's just it changes. It changes for good. Let me start back to you. You write a good sort of band, doesn't it? For us to historically, and we're going to wind down to, how do you want rock and roll stars that started in the 50s, man? Feel like competing in the 80s and video.
Well, I love the video, by the way. We have Mario. He did our 2 videos, and we thought he was wonderful. We think
He's nice.
he also did a movie called
I was a zombie for the FBI.
See? I gotta get the next movie. It's
Not a zombie, though.
to stereo, to 4-track, 8-track, up to like 364 tracks, and added videos and all. It's like us Western men, it's very similar to in the beginnings they would ask you, what would you do when you're over? This may go on forever. And you wind up competing also with yourself, you just want to do the best you can for as long as you can. And we've been so blessed to this point that we it stops on the 6th. This will swell, y'all.
And also, it's just, it's a matter of enjoying it now more so than anything. It's like using all the colors and paint tops. More things come along, more techniques come along, the more you can use, play with.
How do you know when spaghetti's all done?
Nobody gets the log out.
She puts it over against the wall and slides down slowly.
Is that it, y'all?
Yes, sir.